Hello, everyone. Welcome to Top Football Club. My name is Chris Rodriguez, and in today's video, we have Jason Cundy came out and said that Newcastle are not a big club, and you know, is that true? Let's react to what he had to say with a fan of Chelsea, of course. Let's get started. All right, let's listen to what Jason Cundy had to say in this Chelsea
There's
fan.
there's a word in there that champions.
Okay.
What do you mean? I mean,
Well, I mean, to celebrate getting top four. Do you know what I mean? Is that the highlight? You know what I mean?
well, it is for
They made it to the Champions League. What the hell is the problem?
a club who've not been in it for 20 years.
Look, it is for a club the size of Newcastle, right?
Yeah, but
It is. I mean, this is a massive
What?
achievement for them, right?
I'm
You
not
think
gonna
about the
dismiss
last.
They've done well. They've done really well.
No, I know, and I know he got it, but the club the size of Newcastle, the last 55 years, this is almost like their Christmas, isn't it? They got there.
Okay, that sounds pretty condescending. That sounds pretty condescending, to be honest with you.
They can't believe they got there, and they have, and they deserve it. Now, all of a sudden, they got the prospect of maybe having Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, AC Milan, some of the big heads of European football, rock up and make their season better next year because they've not had this. Well, 20 years they've been waiting there for this. 20 years, and now they've got this. They've got a chance to play it on the biggest stage, and that's why if they're ahead of schedule, they should be 2 years. They're 2 years ahead of schedule. Right?
They've got to win something, basically, haven't they? And let's make it.
Well,
right.
I wouldn't. I know. But
I mean, you sound like a very bitter Chelsea fan right now, Dave.
Very bitter. But so let's break this down a little bit and really, find out: is there a big dynasty in English football? Yeah, certainly. Manchester United could say because they got 3 Champions Leagues, a couple Premier Leagues, so of course they can say that. But look at them right now, though. They suck. They got regular players that don't deserve to play in that jersey, and definitely a regular normal coach that shouldn't be coaching that team. Arsenal hasn't won a Premier League ever. They have no international presence, no Champions League, nothing other than winning FA Cups. Who else? Chelsea wasn't Chelsea until Abramovich got there and invested in players, and they actually were able to capitalize and win 2 Champions Leagues. Manchester City, to my previous point to Newcastle. Newcastle was probably bigger than Chelsea before Abramovich got to that point and actually took them internationally. Now Manchester City the same way until oil money came. There was nothing happening for Manchester City. They were a regular team. They were just probably as big, if not less, than West Ham United, or Aston Villa or Everton, for that sake. Who else is out there? Liverpool, they have 6 Champions Leagues, but no Premier Leagues at all. No, I don't know the last time they won the English title when it was. So really, what are we talking about, Jason Cundy? Really, it's pointless. Are there dynasties in English football? Certainly, I believe there are royalty clubs, is to what I call them. Clubs that are respected, clubs that have a lot of history, that are cultural, they have an impact culturally in fans. Not a lot of clubs can say that, just as Newcastle fans, that they fill up the stadium every week, over 50,000 people every week. How many small clubs, quote unquote, do that in English football and in football in general? Again, I go back to my point. When I was young, I used to always hear about Newcastle. Again, I always thought Newcastle had a couple Champions Leagues, a couple Premier Leagues, because of how much I used to hear about them. Same as other clubs. Obviously Manchester City, United, Manchester City less when I was growing up, but Arsenal definitely. So why is it Chelsea? Really, Chelsea is the dynasty. Chelsea is the big team here in England, a team that is not going to play the Champions League this year. I mean, an embarrassment of last season, and we're going to compare them right now to the great season that Newcastle had last year, and they celebrated. So what? Get over it, because it seems like some Chelsea fans and some other fans are a little butthurt about what's happening with Newcastle. It is what it is. Who knows? I've been saying it. I think Newcastle will win the Champions League in the next 5 years. What do you think? Please give us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss out on any more podcasts, videos, shorts, everything here at Top Football Club. My name is Chris Rodriguez. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.